Thanks for joining us on the call with head coach Luke Strand. The Mavericks have Lake Superior State at home this weekend, and then on the road to finish the year, the regular season, at Bemidji State, tied for second place in the CCHA standings, 2 points shy of Bemidji State coming in. Coach Luke, you've had a chance to have some extra practice over the last week and change with the team being off. Do you like where the team is at in terms of going into this weekend and the end of the regular season?
Yeah, I think the biggest piece of, I guess people quote an off week is never really off. I mean, a year, but it came at a good time. Physically, we needed some guys to heal up. Mentally, we probably needed a couple guys to get around their game a little bit at this time of year. Those two combined, you're trying to really tee up your academics. So you're getting ahead of that. So you're ready to take a run at this without that looming over you. And then it's probably the one moment in time for us as a staff, like with our recruits, we spent a lot of time making sure we got to see them and spend some time with them without doing something with the team. So we had a balance of work and rest, and but you still want to stay sharp, but you also want to make sure that they need a break as well.
Lake Superior State comes into your building this week, a team that you saw on the road, got a win and a tie against them in December. What are the things that present challenges to you on their team? Obviously, Westcott's a tremendous player, can score a lot of points.
Yeah, they've got a top line there that's scored heavy points as far as goals. I would tell you, I think they're big. They play a ton of one-on-one hockey with skill. Their defense do a good job of keeping a lot of pucks alive and pinch a lot and keep a lot of things active that way. And you look at their spurt here, their goaltending has been really, really good. So I think they've got a well-balanced team. I think they've played a good brand of hockey together. I guess for us, the presenting challenge is like you got to go play the right way right out of the gate. Because they're opportunistic, and we want to make sure that we do our job, that they're not be able to get loose and try to take advantage of those opportunities that way.
You've had the advantage of having the top six forwards mostly stay together here the last couple times out. Are you happy with their progress this season and the chemistry that they have?
Yeah, I think all in all, you are. I mean, there's moments where you get Morty and Souds and Willie, and when things are going well and they've got it going, watch out. Like, there's a lot of good offense that happens out of there. There's, to their credit, they've got enough skill to make it look Harlem Globetrotter-ish, and we don't get enough done even though it looks good. And then, Isaac Roll, Carbs have done a good job. I think they've, Grohl has really showed up on the score sheet here. But what's happened, I think our depth scoring has grown a little bit. You're seeing Bolson on the sheet a lot. Hilly and Greggs and Kraj, that group has done a really good job. So we're getting some balance. And then fortunately enough all year, like, we've got some scoring out of our defense. And I think our Ds have got to continue to be part of five-man offense. That's the way hockey's got to be kind of generated for yourself right now.
Sometimes they forget that your goaltender, Alex Tracy, is only a sophomore this year with the way that he's been trusted this season. Are the guys confident playing in front of him?
I think they're confident in front of all of them. Tracy's a little bit taking the ball and ran with it here. To his credit, I think they're extremely confident. I think there's a balance, right? Like, if you feel you've got good goaltending, sometimes you feel like you have a little more offensive freedom. Sometimes when you pack it in and you got to defend harder, maybe it's because you're trying to protect your net front type thing. So you've got to find that balance. But I tell you, I think it's like that pitcher that goes out to the mound, like the runs out on the field, like, oh, here he comes. And right now our goaltending, for the most part, all through the whole year has given us a good advantage.
We talk about special teams every week, and that seems to be the difference in a lot of games in this league. Everything's so tight. Talk about your power play and the PK as it stands at this point in the season.
Well, the power play is, the nice part about having two groups going right now. It's not really where one side's getting a minute and a half and the other group's getting 30 seconds. It's balanced itself out. I think they give maybe a couple different looks, maybe a couple different problems to handle. At the same time, you're counting on them at big moments. I mean, scoring goals is one thing, but can you the moment of the truth and the game's on the line, can you bury it? So they've given us some of that. I think, I don't know what the number is, but I do know when we score a power play goal in a game, our record is substantially higher. And then the penalty kill side, there's still some experimenting. You're trying to find depth because you don't want to burn up some other guys. If you're using penalty kill and power play and 5-on-5, you're burning up a lot of maybe what they could do for your team in other scenarios. So we've got some good miles right now to Hillman, good miles out of Kraj. We've got some good miles out of Steinmetz, that group. We need those guys to continue to do so. They're not necessarily all on the power play. And so when you get that balance, I think you extend your lineup a little bit.
A question from one Scotty Nelson. As we enter our final regular season home series, can you reflect on your first year playing at the Mayo Clinic Health System Event Center?
Amazing. I think the support is amazing. The care factor from our fan base is extremely real. I love that they've got knowledge of the game. The applaud you get for killing off a penalty, or the acknowledgement of a high end play, even though it didn't go in the back of the net, they understand that was a high end play. They're for sure a seventh man per se for us. I mean, they're into it. The band has been unbelievable. That machine is a golden ticket around here for us. And then I also, I think if you went up in the crowd and went to the demographic of the age of the fan, it's got from college student to youth player to adult to family to the boys out on the town enjoying themselves to the gals out on the town enjoying themselves. So I love it, and you couldn't ask for a better setting.
One of the coolest things every year that you have in your home building is senior night, the opportunity to recognize those guys who have meant a lot to your program. This senior night is Saturday. Can you talk about a couple of those guys and what the moment means for them, reflecting on their entire careers?
I mean, the easiest thing for me would be the whole group. I think, I met with them yesterday just on to have them for a year. That's one thing, but you can tell what it does to me already. Like, they stayed. They've cared. They found a way to impact when maybe others thought they couldn't, or could they do the job? They found a way to stay together, climb. They're special guys. They're going to be like uber successful in so many things outside of the rink and even inside the rink. You'll see some of these guys play on TV and they're going to have their crack, but you're going to see a group of guys here, I think, that if there's ever a time in the program, when the going was good and you're Dryden McKay and you're a senior, you've got a lot of, when these, when you're the group that went from Division 2 to Division 1, you probably have a little weight on your shoulder. These guys took over a different era. I think they've done it fantastically. And it's all about them as people. They're a star of people.
You talk about the importance of getting a fast start in every game. At times that hasn't been the case this season. What's been the difference here recently in terms of being able to do that part of the game better?
We want to be able to create that fast start without taking risk. At the same time, you've got to put another team on their toes and on their heels and make sure you're doing your job. And I think collectively we've got over the boards. To score first is always a bonus in hockey. That's the number of wins of a team that scores first is pretty staggering. Although we've had our share of where we didn't score first in one, so I do like our maturity of our group that we don't panic if that's the case. But the fast start sometimes isn't even on the scoreboard. It's the momentum. It's maybe the tilting of the rink we would consider it, the possession or the amount of play that's in one end, the balance of pressure. So for us to get that good start, it's plain simple. That usually does the trick. If you're trying to be too cute too early, those often result in turnovers and not very opportunistic times.
Last one for you here. 4 teams within 2 points of each other with 2 weekends to go. Did you envision the standings being this close this year?
Yeah, I mean, to be quite frank, I think a couple weeks back, someone asked me, I said, it'll be the last game of the year. That would be my prediction. There's so many splits in our league. There's teams that, BG's been hot as all get out right now. It's hard to sweep teams in our league. So the fact that it's come down to this area, that's one piece. We've got Friday, and not to be that crotchety old cliche coach that's got that, but we got to take care of Friday. And I think when you don't look out the window and you don't look in the mirror, you just go take care of the thing right in front of you, and that's it. And we got to attack Friday like this is do or die time.
Best of luck this weekend.
Thank you.